brand new Sims Force people today, and so today is definitely going to be a really great day just because I'm excited to say that I'm building yet again another base game only family home for my save file. And I honestly, when I say today is a really great day, I truly mean it because today is a fun and exciting day because I just came back home from EA Play, and you guys, if you guys did not watch the live streams or the videos or whatever, or my Instagram, me posting some things, you guys would not know that the Sims team released a really awesome pack, and I for one am so excited to release the content for you guys this week, and it's a Sunday, and honestly, I am so pumped because the content that came out, I'm ready for a new LP, new fresh ideas, new content, new storylines, new Sims, a brand new world probably, hopefully. I'm just ready for it. But however, you guys, this build is the build that I have been waiting for to post for the past couple of weeks because there's a Sim that lives in this house with her 2 kids, and I honestly, when I say that you guys in my Twitch chat a couple weeks ago are hilarious, and you still are hilarious because we have been working on this house, this cul-de-sac of Willow Creek, for quite some time. And when I was just playing around in my, in build and buy mode and, doing some 100 baby challenge because I was like, let's have some kids. And I was like, let's build on my save file next. So when I came to my save file, I was like, let's build some houses for the Sim that I had named Karen. And I didn't think anything of it at all. And someone said in my Twitch chat that Karen is also Kayla's mom's name, and I was like, hold up. I literally forgot that Kayla, Lil Simsy's mom, is named Karen, who hates dinosaurs apparently. I don't know how that's a thing, but anyway, when I said Karen, everyone literally started immediately naming all the Karens from like TV shows, like How I Met Your Mother, Karen from How I Met Your Mother, because I said that I was so excited for Orange is New Black, the last season, and the person who plays Alex on that show also plays Donna on that 70s show, but also plays Karen in How I Met Your Mother. I looked it up and I was like, hold up. The Karens are speaking to me. Kayla's mom, Karen from How I Met Your Mother. There's also like another Karen from a different show that I forgot the name of. But there's also another Karen that is on Twitter that I did not realize until last night, like literally last night of last week, which was probably like, I don't know, Monday of last week, when you're probably, like by the time you're watching this, it's like a Sunday for Karen, how she pronounces a Sunday. But I'm recording this on Monday, Monday, May 5th. No. It is literally Wednesday, May 5th, the day that I leave for EA Play. But however, it's a fun time. It's a fun and fresh time. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm a little bit delusional, pre-recording as one does at the very last minute to get these videos done and up for you guys to watch because I, for one, have stories to tell about a lot of things around Karen and the PTA preppies and pretty much everyone in this save file of this cul-de-sac, because I kid you not when I say Karen is crazy, classic Karen with a K, like classic with a K, and Karen with a K, not a C, a K, okay? Cool. So, where do I begin? Like I said, when I said there's gonna be a Sim named Karen with her, her kid and her husband, and then little did I know that I was gonna have this full-on story about Karen Prepon. It was first Karen Johnson at first. Well, it was first Karen Pleasant. We changed it to Karen Prepon to sound a little bit better because Karen, in case you guys not know, Karen is a PTA president of Willow Creek Elementary, and there's actually 3 other people in the PTA, a part of her group. There's Greg Johnson, right across the street on the left side, but a house forward where Greg lives. He is the treasurer of the PTA. Then we have Carol Broke, who lives right behind Karen. And then we have Susan Petty, who lives right next door to right across with the house next door of the Goth household, like in that general area. Because Susan is a very, prestigious and rich Sim. And there's 4 of them: Greg, Karen, Susan, and Carol. But the twist is about all these Sims is that Karen she likes to try really hard to be the best parent that she could be, and she has two kids. She has two kids. One is 15. Her name is Kelly, and then she has a 12-year-old son named Kyle. And Greg has way too many kids. Carol has no kids, at least. I think Carol has a few kids, I believe. I'm pulling up my little thing here. My PTA descriptions here, because we've been discussing things about this for quite some time. So, like I said, Karen has two kids named Kyle and Kelly. And honestly, it's so funny how I came up with all these names, because I was on Twitter like a couple weeks ago, or actually 2 days ago, and I saw this person named Taylor Blake, and she has like this character, like this persona character named Karen. And I'm going to tell more about this Karen character that Taylor does on her Twitter and her Instagram. I will leave all the links down below if you guys want to watch those videos. But in case you guys don't know, they're very funny and very so on point to what I'm about to talk about in this video. Because what she said in those videos is literally what's happening in my save file to the T. So, like I said, Karen is a PTA president. Carol is the vice president, actually. Greg is the treasurer, and then Susan is the secretary. And like, there's another person in this neighborhood that's not a part of the PTA, but like is like the general parent, comes to the meetings or whatever. And her name is Sarah McGregor. So like, there's like 5 different Sims in this like general neighborhood that we kind of are, discussing. So like I said, Karen, she's a PTA president. She has a fake husband named Jeff, but in reality, she is a 46 middle-aged divorced woman with 2 kids. And let's just say that her ex-husband, Randy, that I'll get into later, let's just say Randy's not the best person that she is not the best person to associate with, because I, for one, literally hate him so much that the story that I'm about to tell about him in a minute will get very hot and heavy. But the twist is that Karen is sleeping with Greg, who is the treasurer of the PTA. But the thing about Greg is that he's sleeping with literally 5 different people and has so many kids. But his grandfather is Don Lothario, so it all makes sense. He is having an affair with Marianne, who actually lives in Del Sol Valley, but her husband is part of the military career, who works in Strangerville at this point in time. But the thing is, Marianne is pregnant with Greg's baby, but John, who is Marianne's husband, thinks that is his baby, but in reality it's Greg's baby. But then Greg is also sleeping with Karen and Carol, and then this new person, who he is engaged with, which is Susan. So he's engaged to Susan, but having an affair with Karen and Carol and Marianne, so like 4 people, not 5, 4. And he had a bit of a mishap. He has like 2 other kids from a previous marriage, and he, for one, is like struggling. So he's like also a middle-aged single divorced father kind of right now. And Susan knows about the 2 other kids, but does not know that he's sleeping with 3 other people in the PTA. So like, honestly, Susan can do better, but also Greg needs to get his butt out the picture, like, pronto. But he's also the sponsor of the Custom Content Addict Anonymous Association meetings that we have every single Monday night. So he's like our sponsor for anyone who has like over, 6 gigs or, from 2 gigs to above worth of custom content in their game. He is our sponsor, he is trash, and we just generally do not like him at all. But he does bring some good old-fashioned snacks to the meeting, so I, for one, will not complain as much. As for Carol, she's divorced. She had a kid with this one person named Thomas Hunt, who is now a homosexual. He is gay. He is married to this one person. What is his name? So he's married to Brian and Thomas Hunt. They actually live in Oasis Springs, so they moved away and they had a kid together named Timmy. And Timmy lives with his father named Thomas. And Carol is not the best of person. She's like very quiet and timid. Like, she doesn't really associate with a lot of people. Like she was like very stubborn at the time during the marriage. They didn't really get along as much, so they kind of broke things off. Thomas met Brian. They adopted more kids into the family, so they have a grand total of like, it's a lot of kids. Like literally, they have two kids from two previous marriages, Timmy and Teresa, and then they adopted a I believe they're in the process of actually adopting another kid on top of like, they want just more kids because they're family people, which is so much fun. And I love it so heartedly. And I'm just very proud of like, Thomas right now because like, he's living his best life, but also Karen, who's like the main feature of this like whole thing. But Karen, she had a rough start. Like she, in the very beginning of her marriage, like it's been like 15 years. 15 years. And I kid you not when I say this. When Karen and Randy got married 15 years ago, they had a kid right then and there. They had a kid named Kelly. And Kelly, a sweetheart, they had another kid named Kyle like 3 years later. But in like after after years went by, they got a little bit older. So did Karen and Randy. And Randy actually lives in the law firm, like the business track of the Sims 4 base game. He works in that field. And Randy has a secretary named Lisa. Good old Lisa. Lisa is a 29-year-old right now, and she is the secretary of basically Randy. And Randy and Lisa were like, doing a little bit of the dirty every now and then, staying late at work when because Randy was like, oh, Karen, I'm gonna stay late at work for quite a while. She was like, okay, sure. But Karen was like very suspicious and like very skeptical about the whole entire thing for the past couple of months and years, basically, mostly just years. And then afterwards, he kind of let's just say, he got caught by the janitor of the law firm. And the janitor, his name is Samuel. Samuel and Karen are on good terms, of course. Samuel is a great person. Like, he's so trustworthy to the point where you can trust him with literally anything. Like, literally anything. So, when Samuel told Karen, like, what was actually happening about, Randy and Lisa, she was like, you know what? I knew Randy was one of the worst people I've ever married in my entire life. And after a couple of months went by, she confronted Randy in a lie that was actually the truth, because Randy was lying the entire time that he was not sleeping with his secretary, but in hindsight he really was. So he basically said, you know what, I'm done. And that was it. Like they were like on separate terms. It was like, I cannot do this anymore. Karen was like, I cannot do this anymore, and Randy said the same exact thing. So Randy kind of just left the house for a couple of weeks to a random motel in I believe it was actually, he went to a motel in Oasis Springs where Lisa actually lives. In hindsight, he just kind of stayed at Lisa's house for a while. Of course, the lie never ends, or the truth has finally come out. So he just continues on, cheating. And after 15 years of marriage, went down the drain. So basically, after a couple weeks, Karen was like, you know what? My feelings have not changed. I feel betrayed, shooketh, and I, for one, just hate him so much. So Karen, she had the nerve and she has the power and the will to do whatever she wants. But she was like, I had it. I am done. I am filing for divorce to Randy. His last name was, what was his last name? I think his last name was Thompson. Yeah, Randy Thompson. It was actually Karen Thompson, but she was like, I'm going to take my last name again from the, before I was married to you for your scumbag ways. Prepon. So, all full of prep, of course. So she filed her divorce. And then actually a couple, 2 weeks later, Karen went on Facebook Live, and Karen was like, she says, okay, she said, what did she say? Karen said, hi Facebook, Karen here. I have some awesome news to tell you guys. I have some awesome news to share. And she said, she said that I feel so great about this. She paused for a moment. She said, I finalized my divorce. He was like, oh yeah, Karen, go. I was in there too. I was like, Karen, you go, Karen, I'm happy for you. And then Teresa and Jennifer were in there as well. Cause Teresa and Jennifer are in the book club that Karen actually does. It has like every single Tuesday with me, Todd and Bo, Karen, and then Jennifer and Teresa. They're all there. Todd makes a mean guacamole bowl. Can't really make he cannot really cook pie, sorta. But in hindsight, mean guacamole bowl all the way. He lives across the street from Karen, so Todd and Bo and Karen are on all good terms all the way. So I got sidetracked a little bit. So after she finalized her divorce and everything was all fine and dandy, everything went great, down her lane, took some hikes, took some walks around, Granite Falls and whatnot, went on vacation, took the kids on a cruise, Kyle and Kelly, at the time they were like, Kelly was like 12 and then Kyle was like 9 at the time when they finalized the divorce. And let's just say, oh, wait, no, they were 15 and 12. I'm slow. So yeah. Anyway, a month went by. And let's just say, Karen was like, I'm just going to take some time for myself for today as a, newly single woman, my middle-aged self, 46 years old. She was like, I'm just going to go take a nice hike. But the weather did not permit, so she was like, I'm just going to go into my favorite spa. And she went to her favorite spa, and it was great. And the masseuse was, like, rubbing her all in the right places. Like, she was feeling some things, She was feeling some things. She has not been rubbed down in quite some time, you know what I mean? So, like I said, Karen was feeling some type of way when the masseuse was rubbing her in all the right places. After a while, she was feeling all relaxed. She went to her good old-fashioned meeting place, the Olive Garden. She got a soup and salad, got some breadsticks. But then the twist is, you know who she saw at Olive Garden? The one person that she did not expect to see at Olive Garden. You know who? Randy and the raggedy butt self, Lisa, secretary. The secretary, Lisa, that Randy was sleeping with all these years, and she knew she was skeptical about the whole relationship the entire time, but she wanted to catch him in the act. And she did. And Randy and Lisa sat straight across from Karen at Olive Garden. So Karen was like, I'm done. I'm literally done. I cannot deal right now. And she took her breadsticks to go. She sat in her car and ranked it and went on Facebook Live. Again, this is a Karen thing that she does. When someone does her wrong, she exposes them for the fraud that they are, which they all are frauds. And Karen was like, I went to, did my little thing, took for a walk, didn't do it. Went to massage, went to Olive Garden, my breadsticks, saw Randy, saw Lisa. And she said, I, for one, Randy has been balding since he was a senior in high school, wearing his baseball cap in an Olive Garden, of all places, an Olive Garden. Like, he went into her sanctuary, her place of happiness, and he just ruined her day. Like, honestly, Randy has some nerve. He has some nerve of walking in an Olive Garden, going to Karen's sacred place of solitude and happiness. She wanted to just enjoy her breadsticks and her soup and salad. And Randy had to walk in there all just rude and all stuck up and like, Randy needs to go somewhere else. He had the nerve. Like, he's been wearing a baseball cap for 6 years straight, thinking that, I got a full head of hair and I'm all good looking and whatnot. But no, he's been bald since he was in the senior year of high school. Lisa thinks that he has a full head of hair, good bod and whatnot, but no, he wears a girdle, he is balding, he's wearing a freaking toupee and a bald baseball cap for the past 6 years of his life. And I'm like, Randy, who you fooling? Lisa, who you fooling? Because you must be the most craziest person in the world to think that Randy has a full head of hair and a great body. But no, he's a middle-aged man, 47 years old, almost 48, balding since his senior year of high school, has 2 kids, divorced, and all these different things. And Lisa kind of knew about the divorce anyway because she was like, let's hook up. But really, Lisa, you could do better. So could Randy. Well, Randy can never do better because honestly, Randy's trash and we all hate him. Man. But then that's the whole Randy situation. But when Karen got her divorce finalized, she got not only the kids in like the custody, area. She also got the house. She got the car. She got all the things, all his money. She signed that prenup. No, her net worth was higher than Randy's net worth. So she was like, took all his money, took the house, took the kids in custody, took everything from him. And also, since Karen and Randy were like married, they had like a joint, bank account. Karen had her own separate account, like way before they got married and such. She has been putting money aside for many, many years, just in case something bad happened. Like, she didn't know this was going to happen, but it did. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to spend, and I'm going to expand onto the house. And so she did. And that is why I kind of moved the house from a 20 by 15 lot to a 30 by 20 lot. And I wanted to expand it a little bit bigger and give the house that Karen deserves. And so, like I said, Karen is a sweet, nice lady that you honestly will have a hoot with. Like, I met Karen last week. Karen is hilarious. She was outside, sunbathing in her backyard with her pool, as one does, because she got a new pool and she got got the house and the divorce, of course. And she was on Facebook again, just talking about some general things as just for fun, talking about her day. And then she saw Kyle, her 12-year-old son, walking out willy-nilly in the broad daylight of all places in the backyard, naked. 12 years old, naked in broad daylight where everyone could see in the neighborhood of the cul-de-sac. Like, who? Ha! So she was like, she had to interrupt her Facebook live stream to yell at Kyle for what he was doing. Like, he's 12 years old. He should know better to put some clothes on, or at least wear swimming trunks if he wants to go swim. Like, he is not grown. Who does he think he is? So, honestly, he needs to get with the program. So, I, for one, thought that was funny when she just, like, sidetracked and, like, yelled at him, and she came back saying, so, my avocado tree is doing great. That was kind of funny. That was, like, a kind of a sidetrack kind of funny thing. But here's the thing. I got another thing about one other person. It's like, remember when I said earlier in the video where Karen had a book club, and her book club is called The Reader's Delight. And they were reading a particular book that a certain person did not like and called Karen some names. Like, this person named Kathy, I'm going to call her out by her name, Kathy. Kathy is so rude. Kathy Johnson, actually. Kathy Johnson, not relation to Greg Johnson, no relation at all, just the last name, Kathy Johnson. Kathy called Karen a hoe because they were reading 50 Shades of Grey. Like, why would you call Karen that name just because the book club was like, let's read this thing? They're all like middle-aged people. Some of them are young, so let's like spice it up a little bit. Read 50 Shades of Grey. So they did. Kathy was like, not today. No. And Todd and Bo, they moved into the neighborhood a couple weeks ago, way before, and they overheard what Kathy said. Kathy, the of all places, Kathy went on Facebook Live and exposed Karen, air quotes, exposed, because like, no, that's not true at all. She flat out called out Karen's name by name, her maiden name, where she lived, and all these different things of accusing Karen for what she did, for reading 50 Shades of Grey. Like, honestly, Kathy does not have a fine piece of literature bone in her body. Like, she does not know what she's talking about at all. So Karen was like, I'm going to go on Facebook Live and just call Kathy out by her name because she was the one, she did it first. So, like, she has no problem of calling Kathy out for the fraud that she is. And when Karen went on Facebook Live talking about Kathy and her book club, she was like, So you call me a hoe? You must be thinking about my garden hoe when we do my flower bed in my front yard, and we have a flower bed in the front yard of our house. To be accurate, of course. And I honestly think that Kathy have the nerve of all things, because she's the one to talk about being such a person. Because the thing is about Kathy Johnson, let's be real here. Kathy Johnson is sleeping with Lisa's father, who is 70 years old, where Kathy is only 46 years old. She is sleeping with Lisa, who is dating Randy, Karen's ex-husband. To reiterate, Lisa's father is sleeping with Kathy, who is 46 years old, where he is 70 years old. He is divorced because, well, he's not divorced. His wife died, so he was feeling kind of lonely, such a way. So they slept together and all those things. And the thing is about Kathy, she is the one to talk. She does not know what she's talking about. And so Todd went on Twitter, mostly, in response to Karen's video that she posted or did on a live stream on Facebook. Todd was like, "Oh, I'm here, me, Todd and Bo, I'm Todd, me, my husband Bo, and my kids. We live right in the cul-de-sac, like right there, right on the corner, right straight across from your house." So Todd now is in the book club, and they are starting to figure out what book they're going to read next. We have decided, I was talking to Todd earlier, I think it was, what's today? Today is Wednesday. I talked to him on Sunday because he has like Zumba, and he also has like breakfast in the morning on like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I couldn't see him on Monday at all. So I saw him yesterday at the book club, but I did not get a chance to ask him. But I talked to him on Sunday about the whole Kathy situation, the whole lowdown, the DL, what happened, and I learned, lived and I learned, and that's pretty much it. And to be honest though, when Lisa kind of knows that Kathy is sleeping with her father, like it's kind of weird in a way, because like when Karen found out that her ex-husband Randy was sleeping with Lisa, and Kathy was the one talking smack about Karen, sleeping around, but no, she was the one who's sleeping around, because Kathy is married. Kathy is married. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but the reason why Randy and Karen broke up in the first place, because Randy got bored. Like, who in their right mind says that? Like, who says, "Oh, I got bored, so I'm gonna cheat"? I'm like, first of all, if you're gonna cheat, then just break up. Just don't say you're gonna get bored. Like, end things before things get ugly, because honestly, Randy lost everything in the divorce. So he brought this upon himself in the first place. So I don't know who he thinking that, "Oh, I'm gonna just be bored and sleep around and cheat with somebody who I don't think, who is like a lot younger than me, like half Karen's age." He, okay, yeah, he thought wrong. So as of right now, me and Randy are not on speaking terms. Karen and Randy are not on speaking terms at all. And right now, Karen is sick. She is not feeling too well because she is sick of all these crazy, crazy people. She is like, who is catching up with a lie. Like, honestly, everyone's lying. And the doctor diagnosed her, saying that she is sick of these crazy, manipulative people. She used another word that I'm not going to say on a video. But however, like I said, Karen is a true OG. She keeps it real. She keeps it fresh, funny, comedic, and all well-rounded nice. So that being said, I for one felt like that Karen is living her best life. She is planning to one day maybe go on another vacation, try to expand on her life. She's actually a freelancer. She's a freelance. She's actually in the stylish influencer career right now that I gave her. That's from the base game, and she's like working. She's working on her own clothing line actually right now, and she's doing quite well. And on top of her book club, and meeting with friends, mostly Todd and Bo. And Todd and Bo actually have like have like three kids, three adoptive kids, one by a surrogate, technically. Yeah, one by a surrogate and then two adopted, and live literally right across the street from Karen. So that's pretty cool. And they come around in the for like neighborhood parties and everything every couple of days, which is kind of nice. And I'm pretty proud that Karen is like living her best life. The kids are great. Kyle and Kelly are great. Kyle is like a live streamer for a living, basically in the house. That's why he plays like three monitors on his desk in his room with a gaming rig machine. And then for Kelly, she is a teenager right now, and so she has an interest in painting, music, singing, and doing all these different things. So she has like a microphone, a guitar, an easel. So she's doing what she knows best and wants to make a name for herself out there because the Prepon family slash the Prepon family are out here living their best life. So literally Karen was like, oh, no, you're not having your father's last name. So we're gonna go to the court and change your last name to Prepon because that person, Randy, he got another thing coming. We are not gonna associate with your father. No way, no how. Maybe on Christmas, but I will not speak to him. I might poison him. But other than that, he got another thing coming. So either way, like I said, this is one of the most craziest storylines I have ever in my life come up with in my entire life. Because I, for one, feel more inspired when I make stories like this with a little extra of sprinkle. And to reiterate all the Sims for the Willow Creek cul-de-sac, where it's generally PTA preppies, is Karen Prepon, Kale Broke, Greg Johnson, and Susan Petty. But there's also Sarah McGregor, who is and her nickname is Sarah Tryhard because she is a person who tries so hard to get on Karen's good side in the PTA group to give her suggestions and ideas for bake sales. And Sarah says, oh, I made these cookies homemade and blah blah blah, but in reality she went to Sam's, bought them bulk, and said that she made it homemade, but in reality she just got them from Sam's, put them on the table, sold them for $5 each. I'm like, first of all, $5 for a cookie? You must be crazy. Second of all, you can't bake to save your life. And so also, Sarah's a widow. So she feels like she would volunteer for classes and all stuff like that to be a better cook, but she really isn't. She's not the best. And Sarah changed her career from being she was in the culinary career, failed that, and then she heard that Karen was a stylish influencer and was like, oh, what if I get on Karen's good side and we can collaborate on stuff? And I, for one, should be a stylish influencer. So Sarah and Karen are both in the same career, but Karen is more superior than Sarah, but Sarah is trying way too hard to be the best that she can be. But in reality, no one can top a classic Karen with a K. But BT dubs, Facebook, live streams are real, hot and heavy, drama-filled, and Karen knows how to make a statement point blank clear. But either way, I'm gonna actually wrap up this voiceover right here. I really hope you guys much enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, of what do you think the next pack might be for The Sims 4 as an expansion pack, game pack, or stuff pack. But in hindsight, what do you think of the story for Karen Prepon? All the Sims, it might have been all over the place because I had to look up some facts because I wanted to be clear about what I was going to say in this video, and I found everything. Hopefully it made sense. Links are all down below in the description to understand more about the story. And yeah, like I said again, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!